Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a fun little card that I made. It's a fall card, obviously. This one is using Spellbinders, some Spellbinders dies, and the embossing folder. It's from the Spellbinders Club of the Month. So this is the embossing folder, the 3D embossing folder, and then the small die of the month. And it's a 5x7 card, and you open it up, and then you've got an inside card that opens up. But when you close it, it just tucks right back in there. So kind of fun. It's a little bit of a card within a card, and it's kind of a card within a card, and it's a small, folds fairly flat, but it just kind of gives you that little extra something. So let me show you how it's made. You start with a piece of card. This one I'm going to use a little bit different paper, and I'm going to use the Crafter's Companion Happy Thanksgiving Stampin' Metal die set for my embellishments. So for this one, I'm going to use an ivory card base. That one was white. And this piece is 7 by 11, and I scored at 5 and at 10. So you get your 5x7 card base with 1 inch overlap flap. Now that 1 inch is not wide enough. If I had a larger size of paper, I could do it all in one sheet of paper, but I don't. So this is the way that I did it. I just cut an extra strip of paper that's 7 by 2, and I'm going to glue it on to there, and that'll give me my little flap. So let's go ahead and glue that on. So you're just going to glue it onto that 1 inch flap right on the edge so that it's even on those 3 sides. Now essentially that gives you a 7 by 12 inch piece of paper. If I had used a 12 by 12 sheet, I could have done this with one without that extra strip. If you had a 12 by 12 sheet, just cut 7 by 12 and then score at 5 and at 10, and that would give it to you in one piece. I was using 8.5 by 11 paper because I don't have any 12 by 12 that's cream and that's heavy enough cardstock. So anyway, so that gives you your basic card. Then for the inside card, you need another sheet of paper, and this piece is 4 3/4 by, yes, 4 3/4 by 8.5. So 4 3/4 by 8.5. Now you can make it as tall as you want, whatever height you want, as long as it fits within this 7 inch piece. I think the other one I made was 5 inches, and I think I meant to cut this one 5, but I cut it at 4 3/4. So that's where we're at. But you can make it kind of any size you want as long as it fits within there. Now you're going to glue those top and bottom, so it can't be 7. I would make it smaller than at least, probably no more than 5.5 inches high, because you don't want to go right up against your glue lines. And then you're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to score at 4.5 and 5.5. So that gives you you're going to glue those 1 inch pieces together so that you've got, this is your glue tab that's going to glue on the inside. This is your card that's going to open, and this is the piece that's going to tuck underneath that flap. So we'll put some glue on that 1 inch strip. And that gives you your little inside card. Okay. Now we're going to glue this piece. Now, if you want to mat and layer the inside of your card, which I did on this one, do that now before you glue the inside card on. But I'm not going to mat and layer the inside of this one. So you're just going to lay it up against and sort of center it where you want it. And then you're going to put glue right on this 1/2 inch tab. Now be careful that you don't put too much that it squishes up onto the other top piece, because you're going to put it right into that fold and then squish it down. Now if you want to make sure, you can open that up just so that you don't, because you don't want to glue that flap down, so you want it to look like that. So can you see that? I guess you can kind of see that. Okay, so just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and close that. Well, I guess I can leave it open for now. And I'm going to work on decorating the front. So I've got a 5x7 panel on the front, and I just matted and layered some craft card with a piece of sort of fall leaves decorative paper that I had in my stash. And then, as I said, I used that Crafter's Companion Happy Thanksgiving die set and cut the back layer out of craft card and the front layer out of this ivory. And I'm going to put that on. And you could put it on with foam tape, but I'm just going to glue it flat. And this die is big enough and detailed enough that you really don't need, I mean, if you have some decorative paper or even just a piece of, like, originally my plan was to take the craft card and just do some stamping or stenciling on it, just in a very light color to give a background. And then I saw this paper and thought that was perfect, but it doesn't need a whole lot. Then we're going to open that up. And now I'm going to close this. I'm going to go ahead and glue the tops and the bottoms. Now to make it slide nice and easy, you want it not really bowed, but a little bit up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a slight piece of foam tape. And I have this foam tape that's really skinny. And it's also very thin. You don't have to do this, and on the other card I did not. I just glued it with the tacky glue, but I'm going to try this and see if it slides just a little bit easier, just to give it a little bit of extra. And I think partially it's because there's that little lip right there, and that might be what's sometimes causing the card to hang up when it's sliding back in. But you're just going to close that, let it grab, and then I'm going to go ahead and mat and layer that. And I've got the same craft card with that same cardstock with a mat and layer. It's going to go on there, and then we're just going to mat and layer on here, and that's really all there is to it. Fairly simple. It actually goes together pretty quick, and it's just a little bit more unique than, let's see if it slides in there. Oh, the card wasn't closed. There we go. So give thanks, it opens, and then you can pop that open and put your message in there. And I think I probably should have, in hindsight, I think I would have liked it better if I had mat and layered the inside. So you can see on this one, that card stands out a lot more because of the matting and layering on the inside. But with the ivory, actually, I think maybe I'll put a sentiment over here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then it will look a little bit different. And that foam tape does make it slide just a little bit easier. So there you go. Open, a little separate card in there, and close it right up. Thanks for watching.